A scrub is a guy that thinks he's fly and is also known as a buster. Always talking about what he wants and just sits on his broke ass. So, no, I don't want your number. No.
1999 is the year, Throwback Thursday, with a little bit of a twist. We're asking the Stewies to change their profile pics today in the chat room on Spreaker.com to an old school picture of you. I'm looking at this post here, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. This comes from Big Apple Bastard. Big Apple Bastard says, 334, they took my stripes because I wouldn't cut my high-top fade. White boys walking around the Marines looking like Bon Jovi, but they was focusing on black folks looking like Big Daddy Kane. What? Wow, that's sad, man. So I get it. This is kind of like the origin of the Big Apple Bastard. I get it now. I understand now why you rail against the establishment the way that you do. That would piss me off, too. That would piss me off, too. And I'm looking at this picture of Big Apple Bastard from back in the day. It looks like he in the Marines or something like that. And you had to be fairly intelligent to get into the Marines. Interesting. So Big Apple Bastard got this high-top fade, and he's saying that they want him to cut it. He didn't cut it. And ever since, he's been railing against the man. Like a superhero. Super Big Apple Bastard. Wow. I love this, man. This is great. We're getting a little bit of history about the Stewies, man. Who knew? It all makes sense now. And you always wondered why Big Apple Bastard was the asshole that he is. Tried to make that man cut his high top. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I get it now, bro. Rough Buff in this little picture of him with the number 44 looking like a young John Riggins or Robin Newhouse. Were y'all some type of Vikings or something like that, man? You got on that beautiful purple and gold. That royal purple and old gold. That's a nice-looking uniform there, sir, when you were 7 years old. Still, the NBA draft tonight, man. Got a couple more players I wanted to kind of preview for you tonight that you should hear or look to hear in the top 10 tonight. 7 p.m. once again on ESPN. I can't wait. I love the NBA draft almost as I love the NFL draft. I do. I like drafts, period. I think it's intrigue. I think it's interesting. I think it's fun to find out these guys that we've watched for a couple of years, or in this particular case, this year, most of these guys are freshmen. I think it's real cool, man, to watch these guys get drafted, instantly go from ashy to classy. A lot of these dudes come from humble beginnings, and instantly in a name, and your name being called, you've instantly transformed you and your family's history probably forever. Yeah. Even the minimum contracts, some of these guys, man, going to make a big difference in their lives, man. So I love drafts, period. I clearly love the NFL draft more than any other one. And really, there's only two that we care about, is basketball and football. Nobody ain't really checking on baseball. But I really look forward to it. I'm probably going to pop me some popcorn, sit down on the couch, and watch the NBA draft tonight, man, to see the excitement on these guys' faces as they find out. And the intrigue, because chances are there's probably going to be a couple of trades tonight as well. Somebody might do something stupid, like Philadelphia. They might mess everything up and take Lonzo Ball. There's still some questions out there about possible trades with Paul George and Jimmy Butler and guys like that. So I'm still projecting something to happen with Paul George. I said yesterday I thought that something would happen, and it didn't happen at the time that we started the show. But maybe the Lakers put together a package, a deal to get Paul George out in L.A. this year, sign him to a long-term deal. I mean, it's a lot, man. It's just exciting to find out. If you're a sports fan, it's real cool to see these guys get drafted, and maybe one of them turns out to be an all-timer. Like 10 years from now, we're talking about a 10-time All-Star and a guy that's going to go down as one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Like when Michael Jordan came out, you didn't think Michael Jordan was going to be that dude. I don't think anybody thought Jordan would end up being the greatest basketball player of all time. okay? But it's fun to go and look back at it and Sam Bowie getting taken before him and Olajuwon getting taken before him, which Olajuwon was totally understandable. But you go back now, you look at it, you're like, man, only if we had known that Jordan was going to do what he did throughout his career, we would have been more excited that night. We would have been more excited. And so, I mean, we're going to probably look back 10 years from now, and there's going to be one or two players in this draft, man, that are going to go down as one of the greats of all times. Another guy that's probably going to go top 10 is Malik Monk out of Kentucky. This guy's a big-time scorer, the most explosive scorer in the draft, excellent shooter with deep range, elite athletic quickness and explosive leaping ability, excellent finisher above the rim. He can drop 30 on you at no time, with no time at all. The problem with Malik Monk is kind of like the same problem you got with De'Aaron Fox. These guys are slight. Malik Monk, for being a two-guard, and that's what he's listed at, he's 6'3" at a two-guard, that's kind of small for that position. You know, shooting guards now, 6'5", 6'6". If you look at Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, 6'5", 6'6". Even, you know who Malik Monk reminds me of? He kind of reminds me of, and I haven't heard this from anybody else, he reminds me of Rip Hamilton. He has that style of game where he's got that mid-range game. He can get to the basket. He can finish at the basket. Real decent jump shot. Silky smooth, kind of like Rip Hamilton. But Rip Hamilton was 6'6", you know. So Malik Monk is kind of like a tweener for a two-guard position. If he can handle the ball better, they'd be trying to make him into a point guard. But just like I said earlier, kind of like in between point guard and shooting guard. He's a shooting guard, but his size is more of a point guard. But he can't handle the ball, so he's got to play the two. So he's a little bit kind of a in-between type of guy as far as body type, but the guy's a basketball player. I mean, at the end of the day, he's a basketball player. He's going to be a good player in the NBA for many, many years. Let me jump in the chat on Spreaker.com. From Juan Cruz, let me take a look at Juan Cruz's picture here. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Oh, yeah, Juan Cruz being from New York and whatnot, looking like he about to go and hook up with the Beach Street Breakers right now at the corner of 5th and 7th. Yeah, old school picture, New York City. Yeah, you and the Bronx Rockers. Beach Street Breakers. It look like y'all about to throw down. Look like somebody in your little crew about to pull out some cardboard. You about to do a windmill. I see you, Playboy. First cousin, big pun. I see you. Juan Cruz says, let Doug tell it. The only player worth anything in the draft is Lonzo Ball. I wonder why that is. No, that's not the case. I'm a fan of Lonzo. Y'all know that. It might be. I might be inherently biased. I might be. That may be an actual true statement that you just made. From who we have here, Sydney and 21 Jackson. Rip would run your asses to the ground running through all them picks. Same type of player to me. Feels like the same type of player to me and the Monk kid. He says, from that ninja, Rip Hamilton was about 6'4", so I remember correctly. Rip Hamilton was Rip Hamilton was taller than 6'4", I believe. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Let me pull it up real quick here on my little trusty computer here, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Rip Hamilton. They got Rip Hamilton listed on his Wikipedia page as 6'7". Now, I didn't even say 6'7". I think I said 6'6". I mean, an inch or two. I think he's more closer to 6'6" than 6'4", ninja. From yeah, and whoever made the comment about Rip running you through them screens, exactly right. The best screen players in basketball over the last 40 years, Rip Hamilton and Reggie Miller. Them dudes would run your ass crazy running through screens, man. Did it phenomenally. From Sydney, I'm 21 Jackson for Rio AI or Al. I guess if they can't get Chris Paul, that would be their second option. From Juan Cruz, laughing my ass off. We were hanging out with your cousin Flavor Flav. You might be right. It might be right. That goes back to some commentary yesterday about the great Flavor Flav being from Charleston, South Carolina. From that ninja again, he says, Rip Hamilton was a good player but ran through all those screens because he couldn't necessarily create his own shot. Yeah, and this Malik Monk kid, man, they got him listed at 6'3". So it's going to be tough for him, man, to get his shots off against guys like, Tracy McGrady played 2. Tracy McGrady was a 2 or was he a 3? He probably was a 3. But really his game was more like a 2. Tracy McGrady's 6'8". Kobe Bryant's 6'6", and we're talking about the best, the guys that I can think of off the top of my head. But yeah, guards are 6'6", man, in today's NBA, 6'6", 6'7". And so that's going to be a problem for Monk going forward. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah. Man, let me take a look at that ninja. So that ninja's profile pic, that ninja looks like an old school picture of Bill Russell back in the 60s playing against a bunch of white boys. Hey, Ninja, I didn't know you went to prep school, bruh. Ninja surrounded by a bunch of our Caucasian brothers. I didn't know that you went to prep school, man. Yeah, of course you got your man off. You was playing against everybody that looked like Opie Cunningham. Damn. Is that why you rail against the establishment as well, just like the Big Apple bastard? Because they didn't give you your due because you played on a whole team of our Caucasian brothers? Huh? Is that why that you rail against the establishment? And you got the John Stockton tight booty shorts on. And now, wait a minute. Let's back up. I'm assuming that that's you in this picture because you look like a fly in a bowl of milk. The picture isn't real close up, and I can't tell if that's your face, but I'm going to guess that the only black person in this picture is you. Back in 3 minutes.